Hi everyone, I'm gonna be showing you how I make beef stew mixed with vegetables. We call it haifiridzi in Zimbabwe. So I start by adding all-purpose seasoning, and then add ginger paste and a quarter of red onions, and then I allow the meat to steam out the water. I know some people, they prefer adding water into the meat, but I prefer doing it this way. But obviously, if the meat is tough, you just continue to add water into the meat until the meat is tender. I then drain out the stock and I keep it on the side. I add cooking oil and I start frying the meat. I also then add a little bit of paprika just to give it a little bit of color as well. So I then add garlic, onion, and some mixed peppers and allow them to cook until they are tender. I then add some tomatoes. So these tomatoes were in the freezer. I'd forgotten to take them out, but they also worked too, especially if I just cover the pot and allow them to steam out. So I also allow the tomatoes to just cook. The next thing, I'll also add a little bit of some tomato puree, allow that to cook as well. I also season with some Royco, which also acts as a thickening agent. I then add curry powder, Raja curry powder, which is also one of my favorites to add into the stew. The next things I add is the stock that I had drained when I steamed the meat. I allow it to simmer just a couple of minutes, allow it to thicken with the Royco. The next thing is I season the meat with stock cube, the Maggi stock cube. Instead of just using the normal salt, it also adds a little bit of some seasoning into it. The next thing is I'll add the vegetables. These vegetables were frozen. I did a video on how I freeze my vegetables whenever I buy them, just to save time, and trust me, they will also be fresh as well as being convenient. I also add salt to just on top of the vegetables, and then I'll just cover the pot, just allow it again to simmer just for a few minutes, and then I just mix it up, as you can see. So for those who do not like the mixture of vegetables with the beef stew, you just have to skip this part and you just serve the stew like that, either with rice or even with sadza, and you just maybe steam the vegetables on the side. But with haifiridzi, you mix the vegetables with the stew. As you can see, it is done. So here you go. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.